Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
With the Olympics about to kick off and Team USA starting their scrimmages out in Las Vegas, taking on some of the other national teams in the area, I thought it'd be a fun exercise to go out and try to put together a Team USA Olympic team made up of nothing but guys that are going to be in college basketball this upcoming season. And spoiler alert, the roster probably isn't going to be all that good when it comes to having a chance to win an Olympic medal. So let's dive into the team that I put together and who I think I would put on my roster. And I'd love to hear in the comments who you change, who you'd add, who you take out, who you think I got right, and who you think I got wrong. And I think it comes as no surprise after what happened this week in Las Vegas that the first guy that I had on my list putting down here is Cooper Flagg because of his talent, because of his athletic ability, and because of the fact that he has already shown he is capable of competing with these players at this level. So I would have Cooper Flagg be the first guy on my team, but I don't think he would necessarily be the centerpiece of my roster. So when putting this team together, thinking about how it fits and thinking about who I want coaching the team, who we'll get to in 1 second, I went heavy on trying to find guys that can shoot and trying to find athletic wings. When it comes to 5 men in the college game, to me, there were 3 obvious options to pick from, and I went 2 of those guys. The 3 were Ryan Kalkbrenner, Hunter Dickinson, and Janai Broome. And because of the fact that Kalkbrenner is one of the best defensive 5s that you're going to find in college basketball, point blank period, and because I believe he's a very good screener, and the fact that he has kind of improved his ability to step out and knock down a 3, I put him on the list, as well as Hunter Dickinson, for the simple fact that Hunter Dickinson is a better shooter and a better player on the perimeter than Janai Broome is at this point in his development. And I think that those 2 things matter. So Ryan Kalkbrenner and Hunter Dickinson are the 2 guys that I'll be rolling with at the 5 on my roster. I tried to load up with a bunch of athletic wings as well. Cooper Flagg was obviously one of them. I also went with Alex Caravan because he is a guy that is a floor spacer. He is a guy that is a versatile piece. He is a guy that can guard a couple of different positions. And he is a guy that has some size and length and has shown the willingness to kind of accept playing a role, because I think for my team that I'm putting together, he will be playing a role. I also went with Coleman Hawkins. I think that Hawkins, because of his ability to pass, because of his length and athleticism, and because what he can provide on the defensive end more than anything else, is a guy that would fit really well on a team where he is going to be asked to kind of be a connective piece, right? I think at his core, when Coleman is playing his best basketball and what he will be long-term, he is kind of that connective piece. So that's why I have him on the roster. I also went, this might be a little bit of a surprise pick, but I went with Kadri Richmond. And the reason I have Kadri Richmond is because of what he can be as a defender and what he can kind of be as like a glue guy. Now, there are some effort questions and things when it comes to concerns that both Shaheen Holloway and Jim Boeheim had while coaching him. I don't know if that'll necessarily be an issue when you take him to an Olympic event, but I will say, spoiler alert, my coach is going to be Dan Hurley. When you look at what Stephen Castle and what Andre Jackson did the last couple of years, playing a very specific role for the Huskies, I do think you can see Alex Caravan fitting, you can see Kadri Richmond fitting very comfortably into that exact same role that he will be asked to play. So I have Kadri Richmond on my Olympic team roster, as well as Ace Bailey, who is a long, athletic wing that I think is a little bit more skilled than people give him credit for, and a guy that can potentially step out and knock down some 3s. I think at the end of the day, in addition to proven college players, you do also need some guys that are just athletic and talented as hell. And Ace Bailey is a guy that has a chance to end up being, a top 3 pick in this year's draft class. So I put him on my roster as well, which leads us. So that all combined, this is more or less what my front court will look like. Alex Caravan, Cooper Flagg, Kadri Richmond, Ace Bailey, Coleman Hawkins, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and Hunter Dickinson will be the 7 there. We'll get into the starters in a second. The other value of Kadri Richmond, he can play backup point guard if necessary, because the difficult thing that I found in putting these teams together was finding lead guards that weren't built to score first. The last couple of years, it's kind of been the year of the big man in college basketball. We had all the conversations about Zach Edey and Hunter Dickinson and Donovan Clingan and Adama Sanogo and all of those guys. Well, this year, college basketball is absolutely loaded with guards that are classified as combos that probably slot into more of a point guard defensively and are score first, second, and potentially third. And I have 3 or 4 of those guys on my list. So I'll start with Mark Sears. He will be the point guard on my team. I think there's a chance that he could end up being a preseason first team All-American and preseason National Player of the Year in an offense that is going to prioritize the ability to run off the screens, the ability to kind of shoot threes, and need a guy to kind of break you down at the end of a clock. It makes a lot of sense to have Mark Sears on that roster. RJ Davis, I will also be taking with me because I think he is probably the second best in that role on that team as a guy that can score. I think that Nelly Davis is also someone that I'm going to be taking on my roster. Janelle Davis, the Arkansas guard, another potential first team All-American, and a guy that probably had a chance to play in the NBA had he gone pro. I know he didn't get invited to the combine, but I would have been shocked if he didn't get at least a minimum of a 2-way contract there. Hunter Salas, another guy, had a potential to be like a top 40s kind of pick. Big time shooter, a little bigger than I think people realize, and a little better breaking people down off the dribble. And he would be a guy that can play a couple of different positions. And then maybe a little bit of a surprise pick, but Matthew Morell from Ole Miss is a guy I'm taking. A 5th-year senior. He's older. He's 23. He's 6'5". He's athletic. He shot 40% from 3 on 7.3 attempts per game and averaged more than 16 points as a senior this past season. And he probably could have been, again, a guy that would have gotten at minimum a 2-way, maybe a little bit of guaranteed money had he decided to stay in the NBA draft. So there you have it. That's my full roster. We'll run through the guards first. Mark Sears, RJ Davis, Janelle Davis, Hunter Salas, Matthew Morell, Kadri Richmond. The big guys, Alex Caravan, Cooper Flagg, Ace Bailey, Coleman Hawkins, and Hunter Dickinson, coached by Dan Hurley. My starting 5, Mark Sears, Nelly Davis, Alex Caravan, Cooper Flagg, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. Tell me in the comments how many wins you think that team would actually get if they decided to head into the Olympics with that 12.
Thank you for watching The Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.